Christine Juvers and her husband went for a ride this morning.
Country living.
But it wasn't their ordinary morning in the saddle. The Juvers live along Clifford Road just north of Colp. They have to use their horses to get down the street these days. Hurricane Creek has spilled its banks, flooding them into their neighborhood.
Oh, we've got our own little island. So the people who live along Clifford and North Bend roads are getting creative, and it's not just horseback. They're using this boat to get to their homes as well.
It's just something different. Just something different.
Matt Juvers has lost count of how many trips he's made up and down the road in his boat, hauling neighbors to work and school.
I ain't seen it this bad, but supposedly it's been this bad before here. I don't know.
Down the road, more than 40 of Danny Bigler's cattle are stranded. Floodwaters carved a path across the fields, and after several days on a makeshift island, the cattle are running out of food. Bigler's neighbors came to the rescue, helping him develop a feed system unlike nothing he's ever used.
No, I haven't. I hope I never do again.
It came just in time.
They donated their time and their boats to haul the hay out there to them.
That spirit of cooperation is everywhere here.
If you need me, call.
All right. Bringing neighbors closer together.
It's enjoyable to talk to everybody again, instead of just seeing them on the road and waving.
Well, I'd never met Matt before, just knowed his name, and we met up yesterday.
And helping them find the silver lining, even as more rain clouds approach.
We think it's fun. It's something different. It's memories for the kids. My grandkids are loving it.
Yeah, we'll just have farther to paddle, or Matt'll have more to run his boat. And
If you love baseball like the Drone family does, you have to love this job. This is Dinger Bats. The idea for the small factory came to Kyle Drone when he was working as a bullpen catcher in the Cubs organization.
He got to talking to the players at that level, and they were disgusted with the quality of bat they were getting.
And they just kept going back to the same complaints about not getting the quality woods.
And he just kept mentioning to me, you know, hey Dad, let's make some baseball bats.
So they did. In the past 8 years, Dinger has grown into a 15,000 bat a year operation.
A couple of years ago, you wouldn't have seen hardly any stock at all.
The Drones have their hands on every single bat that Dinger puts out, from cutting the wood, birch, maple, and ash, to carving the bat, sanding it down, and making sure it's weighted just right by carving just the right amount of wood out of the end of the barrel. That's Heath Drone's job.
And you're just so good that you just know how much to take.
He is now. They admit there's been a learning curve, but the Drones are selling more bats than ever.
As we grow, he'll have more people to make sure they get the job done right.
Before they leave the factory, the bats go to the finishing room. Anthony Drone is in charge there. Each bat is stamped with a model number, and in this case, the name of a major leaguer. Of course, the most important thing on this bat is the Dinger label. That label is on the bats used by Houston Astros All-Star Hunter Pence.
He's been hitting 25, we call them dingers, of course, a year. And then Blake DeWitt for the Cubs, he's using them, and he's a good prospect.
On this day, Dinger Bats is turning out an order that will ship to New York. They also ship to Mexico and Australia. And Dinger is now the team bat for the national teams of Spain and Belgium. The bats will be used in the World Baseball Classic.
It's exciting, and then you're apprehensive, if they break one, then it's, not as much fun.
Despite that apprehension, Kyle Drone says it's just as thrilling to come to work these days as it was years ago.
Even more so now, really, because everybody else in the country is starting to see what we kind of saw 8 years ago.
In Ridgeway, Dana J., News 3.
Jordan Emrick spent the last 8 years of his life as a Marine, the last 4 as an explosive ordnance disposal or EOD specialist. It's a brotherhood his family says he cherished.
He was very proud of that aspect. That ordnance disposal was an important thing to his life. So.
The Marines had a prominent presence at Emrick's funeral services, from the Leatherneck standing vigil outside to the comrades that escorted him on his final trip through Hoyleton. And though his own son's life was cut short, Terry Emrick hopes Jordan's death will help other military sons and daughters. The Emrick family requested memorials be made to the EOD Memorial Scholarship Fund. It raises money for children of fallen EOD soldiers.
EOD is, we want to make sure that legacy stands for Jordan and goes forward.
The loss of one of their own has weighed heavily on the Hoyleton community. Jordan is the first soldier from the town in memory to be killed in combat. Hundreds of people, friends and strangers alike, came to stand outside Trinity Lutheran Church and pay their respects to their hero and to honor his family for their sacrifice.
Jordan's life was full. Hoyleton was good to him.
Emrick was deployed for the third time last month. This time his unit was sent to Afghanistan. Just before he left, his parents visited him in California. They spent the time doing things Jordan loved, sailing, and most of all, skydiving. It's a trip they will always treasure.
He created a lot of memories for us in the last 4 days that was with him. So I don't know if it was, he knew that.
Terry Emrick says the family abided by Jordan's wishes in planning his funeral. Following today's services, he will be cremated.
He wants his ashes taken to his jump zone of where he skydives, so we're going to honor that as well.
Ready? Hey, fire!
Nobody's going to let him be forgotten, and we're very proud of him.
In Hoyleton, Emily Finnegan, News 3.
Nervous, excited. It's kind of hard to explain it, I guess. You just feel so much.
I'm really glad that they're coming home.
They waited, holding signs, waving flags, and eagerly anticipating the return of their loved ones. Then the wait was over. This bus brought 29 families back together.
Welcome home.
They were welcomed home with handshakes and praise after a year overseas. Then tears, hugs, and huge smiles.
I'm just so thrilled to see him. It's been such a long time, and my son is huge, and my daughter has changed, so life has changed.
Excited, happy to be home. Just glad to see my family. It was great. I've been waiting for it for over a year.
Family members describe the past year as an emotional roller coaster, and they say today could not have come any sooner.
And I honestly think that if it wasn't for the support and the help that I had from them, I don't know if I would have made it through it sane.
For now, they say it's time to just kick back and enjoy each other's company.
Well, I'm going to spend as much time with my kids and my family and put family first.
I'm just ecstatic to be home and I want to spend some time with my family and make up for the year that I've been gone.